Welcome to the Shift Your Story, Change Your Life podcast. I'm Allie Rose, certified clinical hypnotherapist and subconscious success coach. I help my clients stop self-sabotage and feel safe to create more wealth, worth, and wellness from within. If you find yourself stuck repeating the same unhelpful patterns in your life, health, business, or relationships, even after all the mindset work, this podcast is for you. Each week, you'll hear deep dives into the hidden beliefs shaping your life and live hypno-coaching sessions where someone shifts a block in real time. Because willpower isn't the problem, your subconscious story is. And when you shift it at the root, everything else begins to change. So let's dive in. Hello. Welcome back to the Shift Your Story, Change Your Life podcast. In today's episode, you're going to hear a hypno-coaching session with a woman who has spent most of her life being strong, capable, and deeply responsible for the people around her. She's someone who knows how to give, how to show up, how to hold things together. From the outside, it looks like resilience, it looks like devotion, it looks like strength. And yet, very early in our conversation, she names the real struggle underneath it all: an inability to receive. Opportunities come but don't land. Support is offered but feels uncomfortable. Even when she wants more, her body hesitates. This session is about the moment when being the strong one stops being helpful and starts quietly blocking the very things you want to let in. It's about how early roles around caretaking, loyalty, and love shape what feels safe in our nervous systems and how receiving can feel far more threatening than giving. As you listen, I want to invite you to gently reflect on a few questions. Where in your life does giving feel easier than receiving? What might your body have learned about needing, asking, or being supported? And what could shift in your life if receiving no longer felt like risk? I want to be very honest with you. Tianna's story is one of the most deeply moving stories I've ever had the honor of holding space for, and I'm really excited to share this episode with you. All right, let's dive in. Tianna, welcome to the podcast. I'm so happy that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I know you want to focus on people pleasing during our session today. So tell me a little bit more about what that looks like, how it shows up in your life, your business.
Yeah, I think it shows up as being committed to pouring from an empty cup.
Mm.
It's not feeling like I'm worthy of having the capacity to fill my cup before filling the cup of others.
Mhm.
And specifically in my business, it can look like being very, very viral, having millions and millions of views and not being able to convert that despite having such a wave of interest, not being able to be in the position to receive
Mm.
after I have given so much.
Mhm. 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 Yeah. Okay. Tell me a little bit about your business and what you do.
I serve women who have a hormonal imbalance,
Mhm.
and I came into this work because I created an identity around helping women have the pregnancies of their dreams,
Mhm.
not knowing that I was diagnosed, that I had a family history, a hormonal condition responsible, the number one cause of miscarriages worldwide and the number one cause of infertility worldwide. So after becoming a labor and delivery nurse and NICU nurse and dedicating my life to that, I lost my first pregnancy at 6 months pregnant the day after Christmas.
Mm. So sorry.
And it kind of destroyed me and my sense of identity
Mhm.
because I thought that I was born to be a mom and
Mhm.
born to help other people become a mom.
Mhm.
And so through some healing and self-reflection, I have been able to become a mom after several losses and have a very thriving business from it. But but that wound is still there, the need to excessively serve
Mm,
and some sort of barrier preventing me from receiving in response to that service.
mm. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
almost feels like guilt in some sort of ways.
Mhm. So there's like a barrier you said to receiving. Okay. Okay. It's like you must give, 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 but then the receiving end, that's hard.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's not only in my business and my personal life, but I didn't realize it until I started a business. I didn't realize that I seeked validation and fixing and helping other people until I was in a position where I realized that the validation wasn't paying the bills. And
Right.
it was like that was I realized I couldn't surpass this gap no matter how much coaching, no matter what I did. And I realized that there might be some serious trauma or something preventing me from letting go of that need to people please.
Right. Yeah. All right. I want to shift gears a little bit and I want to ask you about your upbringing. Tell me about your parents, siblings, your relationships with them.
I am I was the only child. I didn't know at the time my mom had a history of like infertility and ovarian issues. So I was the only child. I knew that she always wanted another child. So she did do foster care. So our house was a little bit of a revolving door. When I had brothers who would stay for some time and then their mom would come back and very close to time of adoption, she lifted them out of our home. And then she passed away and they went back into the system and we were unable to get them back. She tried adopting teenage girls who have like babies, but they also had their set of trauma and it was not so easy to integrate the families into each other. But I feel like my upbringing was, if I'm honest, my mom had a lot of the people pleasing as well. And I don't think I realized that because she has a much harder exterior than me,
Hmm.
that that is what she was doing in the foster children. And so many, I think that she was also looking for love in ways that she just didn't know how to express.
Hmm.
And I feel like me and my mom are the same, but life has made her calloused,
Hmm.
where I've I've gone in like a fawning position instead.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing all of that with me.
Yeah.
I want to just check before we dive in. So, to me, language is very important. So, when we go into hypnosis, we are going to talk to a part of you. And I want to know, do you want to call this the part of you that struggles with people pleasing, the part of you that struggles to receive, the part of you that has the need to excessively serve? What feels most true for you?
The inability to receive.
Okay.
I kind of feel like, those money machines where the money is flying?
Hmm.
I feel that way in terms of opportunity, visibility, but I can't grab or hold on to anything.
Okay. Yeah. So we will call it the part of you that struggles to receive. Does that feel good?
Yes, please.
Okay. Wonderful. Anything else that you think would be important for me to know before we dive in?
When I turned 18 years old,
Mhm.
my mom got pregnant and our entire family told her to abort the baby because she was unmarried and of advanced maternal age.
Uh-huh.
But I knew that she wanted this baby really bad. And so I convinced her that if she would have the baby, I would go away to college and I would stay back and I would help her raise the baby. But the baby was born 23 weeks gestation with 0% chance to live. She spent a year and 10 days in the hospital before she came home for the first time. And the only reason she came home was because I challenged the hospital to send me to nursing school with a $40,000 scholarship so that I could become a primary caregiver. And I succeeded. Not only did I graduate with that $40,000 scholarship, I went back and got my master's in medical health law. And it kind of created an identity where taking care of her became my life. And she is now 17 years old going through hospice. And after 40 something surgeries, we have reached a part in her journey where things are terminal.
I just felt a wave of goosebumps just wash all over me, and it's rare that I'm without words, but truly, like, wow, on so many levels. It's okay. So, wow, in that you are obviously very, like, determined and resilient, and also, I'm so sorry that after all of that you put into that you're experiencing this in many ways with someone who you sacrificed a lot, you did a lot, you poured a lot of yourself into in order to be able to care for her.
I named her after me. I'm Tiana, she's Brianna.
There you go. But I'm so sorry that
Um,
you're going through that. That's heartbreaking. It's devastating. So I almost feel like in some ways, I'm just so grateful that you're here because after everything you've shared with me about your story, I feel like giving yourself this gift of receiving from me
mhm.
and receiving from the session, hopefully receiving some new insights. I hope that this is just the beginning of you being able to receive because you
Amen.
poured out so deeply for so many people in your life. So I'm excited to get to the bottom of this, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So I want you to just take a deep grounding breath in. I know we just talked about a lot. And now I want you to go ahead and I just want you to look up as high as you possibly can. Perfect. As if you were trying to look into your own eyebrows, keeping your eyes glued to a real or imagined spot overhead. Just breathe in and out. Take another deep breath. Breathe in and out. And each time you blink, that's hypnosis coming upon you. And just one final time, take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, just close your eyelids right down, all the way down. So every time I say the words, go deeper, you're just becoming more and more relaxed. So just one more time, go deeper, drift deeper, sink deeper, at least 100 times deeper. That's perfect, Tiana. You are responding perfectly, exactly as I knew you would, because I already know that you are incredibly open, receptive, and suggestible, and your mind is incredibly powerful. So I want you to go ahead and take a deep breath in. And now we're going to explore this part of you that struggles to receive. So I want you to just imagine that you've gone inside yourself, you've turned your eyes inward. You're still Tiana, but you found this part of you that struggles to receive. And I want you to go ahead and start scanning your body. And when you find this part of you that struggles to receive, can you tell me, where do you carry it in your body?
My chest.
And I want you to just imagine for a moment that you're able to pull this part of you that struggles to receive out of you. Does it have a color, texture, shape, or size? What does it look like?
I feel like red thread.
Red thread? And as you're looking at this part of you that struggles to receive, that you've now pulled from your chest, that looks like red thread, how do you feel about this part of you? What emotions come up for you as you see it?
Anger. Self abandonment. a deep desire to be loved.
And tell me, you feel angry because? When you look at it?
Because there's some self-abandonment
Mm,
there
yeah.
because I've casted my pearl in front of swine, shrinking myself to fit into containers that I know I've outgrown.
Okay. So I want you to continue looking at that part of you that struggles to receive, and I want you to ask it, what is your role in my life? Why are you here?
To keep me small,
Okay. And I want you to ask it, why do you need to keep me small?
because I think the people closest to me wouldn't love me if I showed up in my true capacity. I think I spent too long enabling them that I think that putting up boundaries would destroy my relationships with the people closest to me. So it's kind of like me against them, or or prioritizing myself would also cut me off of the flow of love that I'm so desperate for, even though I'm not really receiving anyway.
And are there specific people?
My mom, my husband, those are the two main ones.
Hmm. Okay. You're doing great. I want you to take a deep breath in. And I want you to ask that part of you, what is your function in my life? How are you helping me?
I don't feel like I get a response of how it's helping me. I feel like it's not.
Okay. I mean, I can already see some ways that it perceives that it's helping you, but I wanted to hear from that part if it felt like there was any way that it felt like it was helping you. Okay. I want you to keep looking at that part of you and I want you to ask it, what is your purpose in my life?
I feel like it's to keep me like restricted
Okay. And I want you to ask it, why do you need to do that?
because I don't believe that the people closest to me would have it's like my hindrance has allowed their growth.
Mm.
And I feel like if I pull back, I will hinder them. And it's easier to hinder myself because in some way I see myself stronger, more capable than to hinder them, even if it involves shrinking myself.
Mhm. Okay. All right. You're doing great. Go ahead and take another deep breath in. Now I want you to ask that part of you, what is your only intention in my life?
Hold me back.
And why?
Why?
Go ahead.
I was like, "But why?" Like, like, I'm a good person.
Mhm. Ask it why. Why do you need to hold me back?
I think it's because I'm scared to venture out on my own. I think that some part of me knows that my husband and my mom intentionally hold me back. I think that they're aware of their position in this situation, and I think that they find solace in each other with their supporting roles. And I think that coming to that awareness would mean having to reevaluate those two relationships, and for that reason, I can't see the truth that's right in front of me.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, and I hear that, right? They may be aware, but and also there is a bit of allowing that's happening, right? And that's not a blaming in any way, shape, or form, right? Because what I can sense is that it would be really scary to do those things, right? And that this part has been formed to protect you from what could potentially be terrifying to do. right?
And I feel like I was kind of raised intentionally without the tools necessary to be independent
Mhm.
so that my mom would never experience that loneliness.
Mm.
And so as an adult and a married woman and having kids, it just and all of the work that I've done, I mean, I've worked the hardest. It's made me realize that I'm kind of consenting to be in the position that I'm in.
So I hear that. And I also, because parts of us don't respond well to shame, right? And so I know that this isn't all of you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here with me today trying to work on shifting this. So it's really important that we talk about it as there's a part of you that is consenting, not all of you. Because, and the reason why this part of you is consenting based on what this part just shared is because there's an even greater fear of loss, right? Of being alone or not belonging, right? To keep us from pain, to keep us from perceived loss. Our brains are wired for us to belong, for us to feel safe in being loved. And so any threat to that, our brains are going to move us away from them. But it doesn't have to stay that way, right? So I
Yes.
want you to ask that part of you, when did you first come into my life?
I think it was when I was really young. I think that my mom was just a very male-centered woman,
Mhm.
and she was just looking for love in the wrong places. And so I learned that in order to earn her love, I had to be of some sort of service to her.
Right. And if you were to give it an age,
Maybe 4 or 5. I mean, my mom sent me to live with my grandparents for kindergarten because she felt like it's she was a young mom, it was tough for her, so I kind of felt like I kind of always didn't feel like I belonged. No, because my grandparents were so old. They didn't speak English. I didn't have my mom around. I didn't understand why. And I think that when she would come around, it was like this pressure to impress her, to serve her, to make her see me and want me as her child. Like,
right,
never really got over that desire to be loved from her.
right, right. Well, yeah, I mean, and obviously it's perpetuated throughout your life, right? In like small ways, but also in really big ways as well.
Absolutely. And I feel like I picked my husband, who I met 2 weeks before my mom went into the hospital to deliver my sister 17 years ago. I believe I met him and the wounds were familiar. It wasn't so much of an attraction, it was an emotional unavailability that I was attracted to.
Right,
It felt familiar. He reminded me of my mom.
right,
And I feel like our marriage has just been another example of me like trying to earn a love that I don't think is even available. I don't think he has the capacity to even like love himself. I think they're both very emotionally unavailable. I
right,
think I was attracted to that because it was so familiar.
right, right. So we can see, okay, this part of you, it was formed at a very young age, maybe 4 or 5 years old, and it was created in some ways to earn mom's love by being of service, right? So
Yes.
I want to ask you, how do you feel about this part of you that's struggling to receive now? Is it working in your life?
No,
Why is it not working?
because I've reached a point where I don't think I have anything else to give. I
Right.
think it's like detrimental that I start receiving at this point. And I think more importantly, it's because when I got to the place that I had nothing to give, after everything that I did for my mom, she didn't see me worthy of pouring back into me.
Right. Because it's really never going to be enough. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And all you end up is empty. Right.
All the time.
Yeah. Okay. So we can see why you came up with it because as a beautifully brilliant 4 or 5-year-old, you created this part. You're like, I'm gonna serve, serve, serve. I'm gonna earn mom's love. Right. And that transitions not only to mom's love, but into your romantic life, into being a nurse, you're serving in that role, into becoming a mother, right? So this part worked for a while because maybe it felt like, you got from that, right? But it's no longer working for you. But because you created this part, that means that you can let it go. So I want you to tell me and tell this part of you that blocks receiving in your life or causes you to struggle with receiving. How are you different now than when you were 4 or 5 years old?
I'm stronger. I have more self awareness.
Mhm.
I think that my desires have changed.
Mhm.
I don't think I no longer desire to be in situations where I think that part of me derives some ego from being able to pour into spaces that couldn't pour back into me, almost like I benefited from their inability to pay me back. Like I wanted to serve in containers to the homeless, to like people that I knew couldn't serve me back because then I wouldn't have to like receive.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm realizing that, that behind those beautiful behaviors was some ego validation
Right.
and that it wasn't serving me.
Right.
And I want to understand what success and love and those things look like without being such a struggle.
Right. Right. Yeah. And you are worthy and deserving of being loved and poured into without needing to abandon and self empty at all times in order to earn that, to receive that. You are worthy of that just because you are, just because you exist, right? I want you to ask that part of you, is it ready to leave?
Yes, I feel like it's not an axe at this point. It's like a request. Like it has to go.
Right. I understand that. And it's always best if we do it in a very, hey, we're doing this together kind of way.
Yeah,
Are you ready to let go of it, Tiana?
ready.
Okay. Now, because this part of you has been with you for such a long time, I want you to ask it, what does it need from you in order to feel safe enough to go? Is there something you can do in your life that would allow it to feel safe enough to leave?
Self-love,
Okay. Mm, yeah, what does that look like?
like doing the things that I want other people to do for me, s- doing it for myself first.
Mhm.
Like setting the expectation for myself of how I want to be treated because the reality is that I don't even know what it looks like. And
Okay.
so I'm hearing like I got to be kind to myself.
Yes. Okay. And I want you to ask it, if you're willing to do that, would it be ready to leave?
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. So I want you to just imagine that part of you again. And I want you to go ahead and repeat after me. Thank you for helping me the way you did.
Thank you for helping me the way you did.
It's had a very powerful impact on my life.
You had a very colorful impact on my life.
You've been keeping me safe for so many years,
You've been keeping me safe for so many years.
but now you're free to go.
Now you're free to go.
And Tiana, I want to just give you a moment to see what you need to see, feel what you need to feel, say whatever you might need to say in order to let that part go. You can say it out loud or you can say it quietly in your mind. If you say it quietly, just let me know when you're done.
You are worthy of all the love that you give out. And I think that when you learn to love yourself, you will begin to unlock the flow where others will be able to, or you'll be able to receive that love from others. And I think it starts with me learning that I'm worthy of prioritizing my own needs first.
Yes. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Has the part gone or shifted in your body at all? Do you feel any different where you were carrying it?
I feel a little lighter in my chest.
Okay. All right. I want you to call to mind a vision of yourself as a 4 or 5-year-old. See little you. Let me know when she's there.
I see her.
Now, I want you, as the adult that you are now, I want you to step into wherever she is. And I want you to go over to her and I want you to tell her anything and everything that she needs to know. As a 4 or 5-year-old who has created this belief that she must earn and be of service and impress in order to get love, what does she need to know from you?
She needs to learn that her validation is not for other people, it's for herself. Oh, she needs to learn that service at the detriment of herself isn't love.
Mm.
She needs to learn that people that love her will benefit from her boundaries because they won't want to hurt her. She needs to know that she's worthy.
You are worthy.
You are worthy.
You are important.
You are important.
You are enough.
You are enough.
You always have been.
You always have been.
You always will be.
You always will be.
Anything else you want to tell her?
Trust your intuition always.
Yeah.
The-
I want you to take a deep breath in. And I want you to just picture that small child, the younger you, hovering just above your head. See her now slowly descending down, dropping down, merging into your body, merging into your heart, merging into your life now. You feel that child fully merged within you now. She's never ever going back because the child, the little you, is now taking up residence in you as an adult. She is free now, free from those old beliefs that she had to prove herself, earn love, impress, pour out, but never receive. She's had a massive upgrade into your life. The past is behind her and behind you. And Tiana, you are free now to be the person, the adult that you choose to be. Take a deep breath in and out, and just allow
oh,
her to fully merge within you now. And now, as you are seeing this, feeling this, believing this, feeling wonderful, amazing, and free, I'm going to count you back to full awareness. With each number, you will become more aware of your surroundings, bringing this feeling back to the room. So, on the count of one, You're becoming more aware. On the count of 2, you're aware of the room and the sounds around you. On the count of 3 and 4, you're taking in a deep breath. And on the count of 5, whenever you feel ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. How was that for you?
That was powerful.
Yeah. You did some really good work in there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your biggest takeaway from this session?
My biggest takeaway my biggest takeaway, honestly, is that my daughter is 5 years old, and I didn't realize that that feeling was produced that young
Mm,
because I was, like, going into kindergarten when I was moved, and my biggest takeaway was that as I'm raising a brown little girl, like, my biggest takeaway was almost, like, ensure that this cycle doesn't repeat itself and
mhm,
that she finds her self-worth within herself and that she's not validated by outside sources.
right. Yeah, and that really, in a lot of ways, you're leading by example, right? So you taking
Yes,
care of you, you putting yourself first, you stating, I'm worthy and deserving of these things. She's watching that. And it will be even easier for her to believe that, okay, if mommy's, worthy of that, so am I.
absolutely.
Yeah, wonderful. All right. Well, thank you so much for trusting me to guide you through that process. I will check in with you in a couple days just to see how you're feeling, okay?
Thank you so much for your time today. This has been an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I want to take a moment to thank Tiana for her honesty, her courage, her willingness to let us witness this work. The depth of what she shared, the clarity she reached is something I won't soon forget. What stands out most to me in this session is how clearly it becomes that the inability to receive is rarely about worth or desire, it's about safety, about a nervous system that learned very early on that giving was how love stayed close and that needing might cost too much. When strength becomes a survival strategy, receiving can feel like a threat, even when it's exactly what we want. In this session, we see how that belief formed, how it protected her, and what becomes possible when it's finally met with understanding instead of force. We also see what happens when the role of the strong one is allowed to soften just enough to let something new in. If this conversation resonated with you and you recognize yourself in the struggle to receive, whether that's support, money, love, or ease, there's nothing wrong with you. You're responding exactly as your system learned to. And change becomes possible when we work at the level that created this belief. If you feel called to explore your own subconscious patterns around receiving, identity, or safety, you can learn more or apply for a hypno coaching session at shiftyourstorypodcast.com or through the links in the show notes. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening with openness. And thank you for doing this work alongside me. I'm sending you so much love and gratitude. Until next time, bye. Thank you so much for joining us today for this episode of the Shift Your Story, Change Your Life podcast. If today's conversation sparked something in you, I'd love to hear about it. Feel free to send me a message on social media. I'm at the Allie Rose on both Facebook and Instagram. And if you want to be coached on a future episode or explore what it would look like to work with me one-on-one, head over to shiftyourstorypodcast.com. And if you never want to miss an episode, make sure to subscribe and leave a rating and review. It helps more people find this work. Until next time, keep shifting, keep growing, and most importantly, I want you to remember that your story isn't set in stone. You always have the power to shift it.